viewer discretion.
Hey everybody, it's dafobra. Just want to wish everybody a happy Easter holiday if you celebrate it. We're out on the North Shore here, taking some nice twisties. Not too crazy because the roads are still kind of a lot of potholes, a lot of crap, but you know what? The weather's turning. Let's see, did some spring cleaning this past week. Cleaned up the garage, cleaned up the inside of the house, did some painting, spackling, and some cleanup of my F4i. Finally gave it a bath, and gave it a bath and waxed it up the other day. And I actually threw some pictures on Facebook. Gotta keep it real pretty, you know? Maybe I'll put a quick picture of it here. So, yeah, today the topic I was thinking about was lane splitting. And in New York State, lane splitting is currently illegal. It's funny because the only state in the United States that has it legal is California. Although most of Europe and Japan has it legalized, but they called it filtering. They just called it lane splitting. So, you know, I am actually a supporter of lane splitting or filtering done properly. I think it helps everybody. And I looked into the law in California, and it says that the rider can do it as long as he or she is not going more than 10 miles an hour faster than the flow of traffic, and that it's safe to do so. Now that's really subjective when you say it's safe. I mean, what I think is safe and what you think is safe are two totally different things, but you know, that's neither here nor there. When you talk about lane splitting and or filtering or whatever, there's two schools of thought as far as I'm concerned. There is lane splitting when people go through traffic and go between two lanes, and then front filtering, I think it's called, is when at a traffic light you go up to the front. And I think in both cases it's better for the safety of the motorcyclist, not just for convenience. And I think that's where people get pissed off, because they look at it as you're cheating them. Why are you getting to the front? Why are you in front of me? I waited here, blah, blah, blah. And that's where the animosity comes from people in cars. There was a really nice documentary done by, I think it was Drive, and if I can find it, I'll put a link to it. Drive did a whole thing in California about lane splitting. Word about if this is sand or not. And lane splitting and what it is and how it helps. And I put that up, and a lot of my non-motorcyclist friends immediately went on the offensive, saying, you know, that's a stupid idea. You know, that's those, you know, hot dogs, people are doing the wrong thing. And I think the message is lost on them because, you know, they have such a connotation about us to begin with. They don't realize that there are advantages. And either that or they just watched they didn't watch it, and they just decided to comment on it without even watching it. But you know what, that's a big part of the problem. And I also read that in California, over 50% of motorists, non-motorcycle riders, are unaware that lane splitting is even legal. So then you have people who get all angry, and I've seen this on a couple of motovloggers' vids. How, you know, cars are moving in on you, and you're like, hey, this is legal. How are we going to educate the public? I don't know. I saw that the U.S. DOT said something like they don't plan on making lane splitting legal because motorcyclists represent a very small population of motorists. You know what? But that really sucks, because what that's saying is our voices don't count, and we have enough of a problem as a motorcycling community. As a motorcycling community, getting the information out there. You know, and getting people assembled and getting people to act on something. So now you're telling us even if we were able to do that, our numbers are too small to make a dent, and that's really frustrating. But I mean, have I lane split? Yeah, maybe a handful of times, not a lot. I mean, honestly, in the 5 years that I've been riding or so, I think I've done it maybe 5 times. I remember the first time we were coming back from Bear Mountain, and we got stuck in the Bronx. And it was hot. It was hot as balls. It was like high 90s, late August. and everybody else is sitting in their air conditioning. We were dying. After about 10 minutes, we were like, you know what, let's split it. And we did. And we didn't go super fast, but I'll tell you, some people moved out of the way, some people moved into the way. Some people gave us the nastiest looks, and then I realized, hey, you're sitting in your air conditioning with your, with your Kenny Rogers playing or whatever. Listen, I'm dying out here. And comfort is part of it too, but also safety. If you're sitting in traffic and somebody isn't paying attention, they hit you from the back, you're in trouble. So it's safer for us to be within, between two lanes. And what else? Front filtering, I think it's called, is when there's this red light and you filter your way to the front. Same thing. It's the safest place to be is the front car or the front vehicle. I think I've done that maybe once. But you know what? You also get nasty looks from people because they think you're cheating them and you're cutting them in line, and they don't realize that. Look at our size. I mean, we're not really going to take much. Believe me, by the time that light turns green, and you readjust your climate control, we're gone. We're not hanging out at the light like you are, sipping on coffee or texting. So that's part of it too. I think we need to educate the public on how this will benefit everyone. That's the only way we're going to be able to sell it. I mean, I know about 2 months ago I signed one of those online petitions to legalize lane splitting in New York, and I know it's going to fall on deaf ears. I did it anyway, and if I can find that, maybe I'll link it up if anybody in New York wants to sign it. You know what? Make your voice heard, because if you don't say anything, you have no right to complain. That's the God's honest truth. So, make your voice heard, and I'd love to hear what you think about it. Those of you in California, do you find that it helps out? Do you find that it's a hindrance? Do you find that other motorists are, understanding of the law? Do you get a lot of crap from them too? So, anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about today. Lane splitting. Look at all these people coming out of church. Well, happy Easter, everybody. Is that a ZX-10? Oh. Is it a ZX-11? No. ZX-12? No.